Have you been looking for an opportunity to move abroad and you know you don't have the right skills to take you abroad? This video is for you. In this video, I'll be talking about a free visa that people have been using to move abroad. In fact, they've been secretly using this opportunity to move abroad without sharing it out. I'm bringing this video to you now to benefit from it, because you can also use this visa, which is totally free. You're not paying for anything to get into a country in Europe. For this visa, the requirement is very, very low. You don't have much things to provide. Like, it is totally free. You don't need any professional qualification. You don't need any education. You don't need any work experience. If you don't have any skill, it is for you. So this video is going to accommodate everybody looking for a great opportunity that is totally free. That's what I'm giving out today. And if this is the information you want to hear, kindly watch the video to the end. It does not matter your background, your occupation. If you have a job, it's still okay. You can still apply. It is free. Your experience might be an added advantage. So even if you don't have any experience, please go ahead and watch to the end to get the whole information. My name is Cynthia Kings, and I give out information on how you can easily move abroad, share out global opportunities, how you can achieve your dreams of migrating abroad with your family without the help of anybody. You don't have to pay anybody or a lawyer to do these things. You can do yourself. If you just follow the steps I show or I give out in my videos, you will find yourself abroad. So let's get digging into this video, because I have a lot to give out and also show you where you can get these jobs. In fact, I will give you a step-by-step guide on how you can find this particular visa on the government website. This visa is to Denmark. Denmark is one of the European countries, you know that, and they are known for a lot of good things. We talk about cleanliness, talk about safety, good work-life balance, high-paying jobs. Denmark will give you that. Very high standard of education, very good healthcare system. Denmark is going to give you all these things. They are known to have a very good quality of life in Denmark. This visa, like I said earlier, it is free. So that's a good way for you to get into Denmark. You don't need any qualification, no university degree. You don't need English proficiency. You don't even need Danish proficiency. You don't need to speak Danish language for you to be able to go through this pathway. No, you don't need all this at all. This visa, the average time for you to get this visa is usually 3 months. But in some cases, people get it in 1 month or 2 months. But the average is 3 months. It's not going to exceed 3 months for you to get this particular visa. What are you waiting for? Why not look towards Denmark? It's a very good one for you. You apply for this visa online, and there is no visa fee. It is free. It's something you do for free. I will show you all that. You're going to be getting a 1-year residency permit to live in Denmark. After the 1 year elapses, you can now choose to swap your visa to a more permanent one. It's a very straightforward thing. And the particular visa I'm talking about is the volunteer visa. This volunteer visa takes you to Denmark to work without paying for anything at all. Yes, you heard me right. It is free. When you go with this volunteer visa, okay, before I get into it, this volunteer visa means that you're going to be working and you're going to be getting paid. You're doing a volunteering job. You're not going to be paid for anything at all. But hold on, you're going to get a free accommodation. You'd also be getting free feeding, free transportation, free health insurance because you're not getting salary. You'd also be paid a monthly stipend. This is called stipend, and it's for your upkeep because it is below the minimum wage, so it cannot be called a salary. It is just stipend. You use it for your upkeep, and it could be something like 500 euros a month, but it all depends on the organization you're volunteering with. Now, it is not all the unpaid jobs in Denmark that qualifies for this particular visa. They have some specific criteria, specific kind of jobs that are called unpaid jobs that fall under these volunteering jobs. I will show you all these things, and I will show you the conditions that the job has to meet for it to fall under the volunteering jobs eligible for this visa type. The condition for the volunteering unpaid job you should target in Denmark is that it must have a social or humanitarian aim. These are the kind of jobs you should be going out for. Not to worry, I will show you everything you need to know, and where you can also look for these jobs. I will show you that now. Now, I will be sharing my screen and I will show you the official website for anything application in Denmark. Even if you're going for school or any kind of other visas, I'm going to show you everything, and I'll guide you on that website to the particular point where you apply for this volunteering visa. I'm showing you other things because you might want to do something else on the website, like maybe apply for tourist visa or visiting visa or studies in Denmark. You can also do that on the platform I'll be sharing with you on my screen. So you go to your Google and put in yours and then do anything, but follow my guide, follow my lead, so you get this particular visa. Now don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. This is the only way you encourage me to do what I do. Try and put a smile on my face as I'm doing that on yours. Please just make me smile. Kindly do it. It is free. It costs nothing. It's just free. Just tap on the like button there. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on the videos I will uploading subsequently. And of course, you should just consider subscribing if you haven't done that. And as you do so, may God bless you. I wish you luck as you do this application. I'll see you all next time. Let's dive into it. So this is the official website for Denmark. For everything you want to do about Denmark, you can see here you want to apply to visit, live, or work in Denmark. So anything you want to do in Denmark, this is the official website you're going to come to, as you can see here. Now I want to guide you on how you can find every form you're looking for, and also show you how you can apply for the how you can do your volunteer application. So now you can see here, if you're waiting for an answer, if you're an application, maybe for tourist, school, whatever it is, here you come here. If you receive your answer, you come here and check. You want to extend your visa when you're already like in Denmark, you have permission to stay in Denmark and want to apply for extension of your stay. That is, you're already inside Denmark, you want to extend, you do it here. I want to guide you on how you can do everything about Denmark. See, you want to know if changes in your private life or work situation will affect your permission to stay in Denmark. If you're already there and you change jobs, you have to come here and check if the changes will apply to you or affect anything to you. But for now, we're going to work and live in Denmark. So we click on this. When you do that, you come down here. You can see for you who wants to apply based on either your short stay visa, visit, that's tourist, residency permit as EU citizen, invasion of Ukraine, family, joining your family, asylum, you want to go seek asylum, you do it here. You work, you're going to work, you study or pay, and then PhD, you want to go study. Now we're going to the work. You click on work here. You want to apply for a work permit, and we're going for volunteering, you know that. And when you talk about volunteering, you're supposed to get a job that you're not going to be paid salary. Instead, you get stipend. So that is what you're going to. Have you been offered salaried employment? You click on no because it's volunteer. If you click on yes, and that means you're going for a work permit. You're going to get a job and proper job. And then this one, will you be working as a researcher? No. Now here, startup in Denmark, certification, authorization. You scroll down more, you can see volunteer here, right? You click on volunteer because that's what we're going for. Now let me guide you. So you see the conditions you have to meet before you're able to apply for this volunteer visa. And then I'll take you to show you how you can also apply for this. But for now, let's go to need to know. Who can apply for the residency permit? That is for volunteering. You can see where it's stated. If you will be doing volunteering, unpaid work of a social or humanitarian character, you can be granted a permit to stay and work as a volunteer in Denmark. If you are a citizen of EU or EE's country or Switzerland, you do not need to apply for a residency permit but must instead apply for EU residence documents. That is this. So you have to get a job where you're not going to be paid, unpaid work. That is when you can apply for residency permit based on volunteer jobs. Unpaid, it has to be humanitarian. You can see it boldly written there for you. Now we'll go back. And then what are the conditions you have to meet? This is the main place you have to pay attention. You come here. If you have found a volunteering unpaid job in Denmark where the work tax have a social or humanitarian aim, which is the main thing you have to look out for if you're going for a volunteering job, you can be granted a residency permit as a volunteer. You must meet certain conditions to be granted a residency permit. Fine. First on first, age limits. You must be between 18 to 30 years old to be granted a permit. You must not have turned 31 years old at the time of application. See, your work in Denmark should be of benefit to frail or marginalized people, and it should contribute to the Danish society. As in people that are weak, volunteer, you're doing a job you're not being paid for, you're trying to help people. That is what this means. The work can also be with children and young people where you are responsible for activities, instructions, or for acting as a role model.
So probably it can be in a school whereby you're guiding people, you're volunteering to teach them. You're not going to be paid, like I said earlier. The work cannot be ordinary salaried work. Example, cleaning. So you cannot. It's not going to be cleaning. So don't think of getting a cleaning job. It's not volunteering because this one you're going to be paid. Any digital job you're going for, it is a job that you're not going to be paid. Instead, you'll be given a tip and towards your accommodation, feeding, and all those things because they'll take care of that. Although you are employed by a social and humanitarian organization, neither can you be granted a residence permit as a volunteer if your job in Denmark aims to prepare for social or humanitarian work conducted abroad. So it's not going to be conducted abroad, it has to be conducted in Denmark. That's when you can get residence permit to be in Denmark. As a volunteer, you must participate in full-time activities. Very, very compulsory. Now, you must be able to support yourself. Can see you must have sufficient funds to be able to support yourself. If you are not provided with room and board by the organization where you'll be working as a volunteer or by the organization organizing your stay as a volunteer, you must have sufficient funds to support yourself during your stay in Denmark. You have sufficient funds if you have disposable fund of Danish krona 7,086 22,000. This is level. They increased it per month. So you have to multiply this amount now based on how many months you're supposed to stay. I know it's for 1 year. You have to like multiply it and be sure you have that bulk money in your account. You must multiply this amount with the number of months you're going to stay as a volunteer. The monthly amount corresponds to the monthly study grant. SU for students not living with their parents. The grant is adjusted every year. You can find the present rate for the study grant here. Then when you talk about the insurance, the organization arranging the stay or your volunteer workplace must take out both a health and a liability insurance that cover you during your full stay in Denmark. If you are staying in Denmark for more than 3 months, a health insurance is not needed. It is not needed. The organization employing you is going to take care of that. They will handle everything about your insurance. Know that and have peace. And relax a bit. So now you want us to go further to where what are my family rights, all those things. This particular one, you're not going to be going with your family because it's a volunteer job. But I don't want us to dwell to this now. Can my family be granted residence permit? A residence permit to work on base of volunteering, unpaid work as a volunteer does not allow your family to come with you to Denmark. This is yourself alone. Please go and fight for your head first. Then afterwards, you can talk about bringing your family after you've changed your visa. My family will be granted. How long can I stay in Denmark? You can stay in Denmark for a period no longer than 18 months. But you can also stay according to when your employer gives you the job, like how long your employer employ you to work. However, the period cannot be longer than 18 months. And then, of course, you can also, after this, you can change your visa type to another kind of visa to enable you stay longer in Denmark. Now let's go to the nitty-gritty. That is how you can apply for this. The main thing below you'll find a step-by-step guide to submitting an application to the Danish Agency for International Agreement and Integration, that is SIRI. It's important that you have carefully read the conditions for being granted a residence permit before you can begin step one. You can do this on the tab need to know on the left. Okay, gather your documents. That's the first thing you have to do. It is a good idea to gather the necessary documents before you start to complete the application form. You can use the checklist below. If you submit documents not written in English, Norwegian, Swedish, or Danish, you must also submit certified translation into Danish or English. So if you speak another language other than English, the Norwegian, Swedish, and Danish language, you have to like translate it to either Danish or English. You must submit copies of all your pages of your passport, including all empty pages and the passport front and back page. So you're submitting your whole passport basically, all the whole empty pages, the front and back, everything, submitting it here. Agreement on work tax and weekly working hours. This is from your employer. The agreement people had on the kind of job you're going to be doing there and how much you're going to be working every hour on hourly basis here. Agreement on allowance, board and lodging, if any. If they're not providing you with accommodation, then you're expected to like have this. Otherwise, they'll give you an agreement for on your allowance, how much they'll be paying you based on the stipend, not salary. The stipend they'll be giving you, you have to like have an agreement on that and your lodging. Documentation of health insurance only for stays shorter than 3 months. If you're staying for shorter than, for just 3 months, then you need a health insurance. Otherwise, your employer is going to take care of this, so you don't need to submit a health insurance. They will handle everything about this. Documentation of liability insurance. Your employer is also supposed to provide you with this also. That's then here, documentation of your ability to support yourself financially if applicable. If you're the one going to take care of all your expenses, then this is the block account, proof of funds they're asking for here. So you have to provide it. You can print the checklist here for you to ensure you have everything. So you have it handy when doing application. The next step is to complete and submit application form. Is expected that's going to take you like 15 minutes to fill the application form. Everything you're going to fill is going to be like about 15 minutes, and your you complete the application form by yourself, one person. In this step, you have access to the relevant application form. Make sure that you have completed all the preceding steps before you begin. That ensure you have all the whole documents listed above. The one I listed earlier, ensure you have them before you start this process. All application forms contain careful instructions on how to complete the form and what kind of documents you must submit along with the form. You can read more about this here before you start. Click here to access the application form. Go ahead and apply. Please note that this is mandatory to use this application form under special circumstances. You can be exempted from the requirement to use an online application form. If you want to be exempted, read about and know on what conditions you can be exempted. Here, just click here to read more. Then when you talk about application, you can find your ongoing and completed application for 30 days from your last login. Here, you can log in here and then you see your application. Everything you've applied for before is going to be here. When you log in, you see everything, and it's going to be there for like 30 days from the last time you logged in. Here, you can access the form here. So now you now go ahead and proceed to do your biometrics. When you apply for residence permit, you must have your biometrics features recorded. This means that you must have a facial photo taken and your fingerprints recorded. The facial photo and your fingerprints will be stored on a microchip embedded in the residence card, which will be issued to you if you are granted the permit. If you do not agree to have your biometrics featured recorded, your application will be rejected. So it's very compulsory for you to go and do your biometrics. Without it, you're not getting anything. This means that your application will not be processed. You have to read more about the biometrics here. You must have your biometrics features recorded no later than 14 days after you submitted your application. So after you submit your application, you proceed for your biometrics. If you're unable to have your biometrics features recorded within the time limit of 14 days because you're unable to book an appointment at the Danish diplomatic mission, you can inform us of the appointed time you will have your biometrics recorded. This way you can avoid having your application rejected. So if you're abroad here, you can do this abroad in any country where you are by finding the Danish diplomatic mission, any of their consulate, any of their embassies. You go and do it. But then to summarize here for you, Denmark doesn't really have embassies in most countries. So where they don't have it, then you have to go to Norwegian mission, the Norwegian consulate or embassy in the country where you are. You go there and submit your application and do your biometrics there. Then, after you've done that, when you're granted, you have to submit a passport here too. When you're submitting your application, you have to submit the passport to the Norwegian embassy. After you've done this, if you're granted, then when you get into Denmark, you have to also go and do biometrics there in Denmark. So they will record your biometrics. This will be done at the embassy, as in like in Denmark, Gogo, when you've gotten into Denmark. So it's very important to do this biometric. You cannot do anything without this. You visit the local diplomatic mission webpage to know more about that. If you're in Denmark, if you're residing legally in Denmark, you're normally able to have your biometrics feature recorded in Denmark. This is the case if you hold a valid visa, you're exempted from the visa requirement, and you already hold a valid residency permit. So please go ahead and read more about this so you know more. Here, when you receive an answer, what's expected from you? You have submitted application successfully, submitted application, had the biometrics. You can see the normal case processing time to the right of this page. Let me take you there so you see as you're waiting for your results. So this is the processing time. Normally, it takes normal processing time 3 months. You don't have any application fee, no processing fee. Nobody is taking any money from you. Everything here is free. It's just you having money to take care of yourself. That is what you need to take care of yourself. Your insurance is going to be covered by your employer. Your accommodation also is going to be covered by your employer. Your feeding, in some cases, why in some cases the employer would not cover that. So now, when you talk about looking for jobs, and that's the next thing you'll be wondering about, how would you get these voluntary jobs in Denmark? This is it. You can see here, become a volunteer, find volunteers. You can see here, if you're looking for any kind of volunteering job, come here and search. Put it there and then search. Is in Danish language now, you can see. So ensure you translate it to English so you understand what you're doing. Now I'm translating mine to English. Scroll down, you can see the organizations that you can work for. Red Bonnet Undom, that is this Red Cross for children. Let me put it in English again. It seems it's not giving me the English. You can see. Mhm. Activity club for children and young people at Center Advanced Troop. Would you like to join? You click here. That's a volunteering organization that can employ you. The same thing here. You can see Red Bonnet. That's Red Child. Become a volunteer at Save the Children's Family Club for children on the run in Rinkoben, Shenzhen. You can see become a volunteer at Save a Children's Family Experience in Rinkoben. So these are organizations that can employ you. Red Cross Denmark also employs. Become a volunteer. Instruct for family sprout in Zeeling and the surrounding areas. Here, volunteers are needed for children's activity for quota refugees at Welcome House. So these are free jobs, like volunteering jobs, so you don't have to pay anything. These are going to give you the sponsorship you need to come into Denmark. So take it up, use the opportunity, and thank me later. So, would you like to be an event volunteer? If that is what you want to do, don't tell me you're not getting any job because you can see, click here, they have over 66 pages with different organizations that are ready to employ you. So, please make use of that. If you come here where they said advanced search, if you click on it, you can see it gives you different options, different filters. Geography, you click organization, children and young people, work areas, the time. You just select anything on that. You see different organizations. You can see they are all looking for people to employ. I don't, they are much. You see, pick one of the names, go to Google, you put it there, read about them, know what they do, check for vacancies there. Otherwise, you can go ahead and apply on this particular site. You see, they have a lot. So you have a lot of things, a lot of organizations to employ you. Please go ahead and start application immediately. Another place you can also get work is worldpackers.com. You can see here volunteer opportunities they have for every country here in Europe. They have for every country, even for United States. You can see Thailand. They have every country, but this specifically is for Denmark. So I'm leaving it at Denmark. Filtering Europe and Denmark. You see, work each in the volunteer programs in Denmark. Help us in our old beautiful countryside B&B near Aarhus, Denmark. You can see, help us in our garden in the countryside B&B near Aarhus. Help us with food foresting, DIY gardening in the island of Moon. You see, different stuff. You can see a day in the life of a world packer. These are, you can click on these videos to read about those that are volunteering there, what it is like. They tell you, see, my money volunteering in Malaysia. This person is in Malaysia. A day in the mountain in India. You can see these are they have in different countries, like I showed you above there. They have in different countries. So these are volunteers in different countries. This one is volunteering in Peru. Likewise, this one in Thailand. So we just work with children. They have their opportunities. This one is for Denmark. So go ahead and do any application you want. Please, I am begging you. Start up immediately. This is a long video, but it's for your own goods, for your own benefits. Go ahead and start application immediately. I wish you luck as you do this application. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. This is how to be recommended to others also. Help the channel grow. Be part of us, encourage us, introduce it to all your family members. Let us grow together. I love you all and I wish you luck as you do this application. God bless you and good luck as you do this. I'll see you on my next video. Bye.